KSI's social psychology is central to his continued success. Public personas are often fragile, vulnerable to misinterpretation, but KSI exhibits what psychologists call high relational intelligence. He is able to read social cues, anticipate reactions, and strategically respond to maintain influence. This manifests in both digital spaces and face-to-face interactions. His collaborations, feuds, and alliances are not random. They are the result of meticulous observation and adaptive social strategies. He knows which battles are worth fighting and which can be leveraged for social gain, demonstrating advanced response flexibility. The integration of vulnerability and performance. A defining feature of his psychology is the integration of vulnerability and performance. KSI has often spoken about personal struggles, doubts, and setbacks. Yet he frames these vulnerabilities as part of a narrative of growth. Psychologists describe this as narrative identity, the process by which individuals create coherent stories about their lives, incorporating highs and lows into a structure that gives meaning and agency. KSI uses this psychological strategy not only to manage his own mental state, but also to strengthen his connection with fans. When audiences perceive authenticity, they feel trust, empathy, and loyalty. Strategic self-presentation under pressure. His psychology also demonstrates strategic self-presentation under pressure. In domains such as professional boxing, he must maintain composure under extreme physical and psychological stress. Psychologically, this requires dual-task processing, simultaneously managing immediate physical performance while regulating internal dialogue, emotional response, and public image. KSI's ability to compartmentalize allows him to excel in high-stakes situations without losing sight of the larger narrative he is constructing. Creative adaptability and cognitive flexibility. Creativity is another critical dimension of KSI's mind. He does not produce content by rote. He experiments, improvises, and adapts. This reflects divergent thinking, the ability to generate multiple solutions to a problem and navigate novel situations. His success in YouTube, music, and boxing is not just a function of hard work, it is a function of creative adaptability. He can sense cultural shifts, viral trends, and audience preferences, then respond with content or action that feels both organic and compelling. This requires high cognitive flexibility, the mental agility to switch between modes of thinking and integrate disparate influences into a coherent output. Behavioral self-regulation. KSI's psychology also involves a sophisticated understanding of reward and reinforcement mechanisms. He has internalized the dynamics of attention economies, likes, shares, comments, views. Yet he pairs this external feedback with intrinsic motivation, personal satisfaction from mastery, achievement, and challenge. This combination creates a self-reinforcing loop. External recognition fuels internal drive, and internal satisfaction sharpens the quality of output, which in turn generates more external reward. Psychologists would see this as an advanced form of behavioral self-regulation. Metacognitive reflection and self-concept. Beyond the public persona lies a layer of reflective self-concept. KSI has spoken about mental health challenges, anxiety, and the pressures of fame. This awareness indicates metacognition, the ability to think about one's own thought processes. He monitors internal states, identifies triggers, and develops coping strategies to maintain stability. Part of this self-monitoring involves understanding the long-term consequences of impulsive action versus calculated response. He has cultivated patience, discipline, and perspective, which buffer him against the volatility of digital and real-world environments. Risk assessment and calculated boldness. Another dimension of his psychology is risk assessment and calculated boldness. Whether stepping into the boxing ring or taking on entrepreneurial ventures, KSI consistently evaluates potential costs and benefits. Unlike reckless risk-takers, his boldness is informed by data-driven judgment and intuition, shaped by experience. Psychologically, this reflects a blend of analytical intelligence and adaptive risk tolerance, allowing him to pursue high-reward opportunities while minimizing unnecessary loss. Emotional intelligence in digital contexts. KSI's public interactions also reveal a deep understanding of parasocial relationships. Fans experience an illusion of intimacy with public figures, and KSI leverages this to strengthen engagement while maintaining boundaries. He cultivates empathy, humor, and relatability, which endears him to millions, yet he maintains sufficient psychological distance to preserve autonomy and emotional health. This is a hallmark of emotional intelligence applied in digital contexts. Identity fluidity and cognitive compartmentalization. Identity fluidity is another key aspect of his psychology. KSI operates as a multidimensional self, balancing gamer, entertainer, rapper, boxer, entrepreneur, and public figure identities. This requires cognitive compartmentalization, the ability to manage multiple self-concepts without conflict. He adapts his behavior, communication style, and emotional expression depending on context, demonstrating both situational awareness and self-consistency. The ability to hold these identities simultaneously without fragmentation is a psychological strength that underpins resilience and sustained performance. Affective regulation and conflict management. Part of KSI's mental framework involves handling criticism and conflict. Public figures face constant scrutiny, negative commentary, and misrepresentation. He navigates this with a combination of humor, selective engagement, and emotional filtering. Psychologists call this affective regulation, the ability to manage emotional responses to external stressors without reactive escalation. He transforms potential psychological threats into opportunities for growth, content creation, or narrative control. Entrepreneurial psychology. Creativity and risk-taking converge in KSI's entrepreneurial psychology. Beyond entertainment, he manages businesses, brand partnerships, and media ventures. This requires strategic foresight, market awareness, and adaptive problem-solving. His ventures reflect a psychological blend of visionary thinking and pragmatic execution, seeing opportunities before others do while systematically implementing strategies to capitalize on them. Competitive drive and resilience training. KSI psychology also incorporates competitive drive and resilience training. Boxing, in particular, demands mental toughness, the ability to endure pain, stay focused under stress, and anticipate opponent behavior. Psychological research identifies self-efficacy, attentional control, and arousal regulation as key predictors of performance under pressure. KSI exemplifies these traits, using mental rehearsal, visualization, and cognitive framing to prepare for high-stakes matches. Social influence and transformational leadership. Social influence and leadership psychology are evident in his collaborative work with other creators. He motivates teams, negotiates conflicts, and cultivates trust, skills rooted in transformational leadership, the ability to inspire others while maintaining accountability and vision. He balances assertiveness with empathy, charisma with approachability, producing relationships that are both strategically effective and psychologically rewarding. Advanced metacognitive reflection. KSI also demonstrates advanced metacognitive reflection. He routinely analyzes personal performance, audience reception, and strategic outcomes. This reflection allows him to refine behavior, anticipate consequences, and maintain alignment with long-term objectives. Psychologists link this capacity to self-directed learning, a trait common among high achievers who thrive in unpredictable environments. Cultural intelligence. Finally, his psychology is deeply intertwined with cultural identity and representation. As a British Nigerian, KSI navigates multiple cultural expectations and audience demographics. He leverages his heritage and personal story to create relatable narratives while challenging stereotypes. This requires cultural intelligence, the cognitive and emotional ability to interpret cultural norms and adapt behavior without compromising authenticity. Conclusion. KSI's persona is ultimately a product of strategic identity, adaptive emotional regulation, cognitive flexibility, social intelligence, resilience, risk management, creativity, reflective self-awareness, and cultural navigation. His psychological profile demonstrates how high achievers in the modern digital age balance public expectation, personal growth, and strategic influence. Through careful self-monitoring, adaptive strategies, and an integration of cognitive, emotional, and social skills, KSI has created a psychological architecture capable of thriving in environments that challenge attention, creativity, and endurance. His mind exemplifies how contemporary public figures navigate fame, performance, and personal development simultaneously, an intricate dance of ego, empathy, calculation, and creativity.